Hi, my name is Elena. Welcome to my channel. I am a yoga teacher and I love teaching beginner tips. So if you're just starting out and looking for some beginner advice on how to start your practice, I have a lot of beginner level sequences and I'll be covering more tips and tricks for beginners. Today we'll talk about yoga blocks. There are so many types of blocks, and do you really need them? Can you just use thick books instead, or some sort of platform? Yes and yes. However, they're so affordable now and they will help you elevate your practice in such great ways. Let's talk about 5 ways how you can use yoga blocks in your home practice. And also keep watching, because in the end of this video, I'll talk about 2 most common types of blocks that you can find right now. Cheaper foam blocks and more expensive, but also more durable Cork blocks. We'll talk specifically what I recommend getting, especially for the first time block buyer. So keep watching. 5 ways you can use blocks in your practice or even your home workouts. Doesn't have to be yoga. So the first thing that comes to mind, you can use yoga blocks to where you are lacking flexibility. So you can use blocks to get into a certain shape. Not in a bad way, not that you're liking something in your body, but as you're working on a pose, it could be helpful to use blocks to kind of, keep your spine tall. For example, when you are doing a half split, blocks could be really helpful to place underneath your hands. So let me get into this half split shape. If you can't place your hands down without rounding your back so much, placing blocks under your hands, and you can easily control the height, can help you get a nice deep stretch while maintaining this nice long spine. Number 2, try using blocks in any yoga flow, even if the flow is not calling for them. They make some of the elements, especially vinyasa, so much easier, and also they help you engage different types of muscles and make certain things more accessible. For example, when you are in downward facing dog and you are stepping through, it allows a much cleaner step through because your hands are higher. Number 3, you could use yoga blocks in your strength training. Some really advanced core strengthening exercises could be done with blocks. For example, lolasana, lift. So sitting on your shins, place blocks underneath your hands, and contracting your core, lift your feet off the floor. Not easy. Or you can use them to practice L-sits. I wouldn't be able to do this without yoga blocks. Number 3, use yoga blocks in poses that you are already familiar with, but adding blocks will help you activate and feel some of the muscles, for example, that you otherwise wouldn't be feeling. For example, in a bridge pose, if you place a block in between your thighs, you could really feel your inner thighs engaging as you lift your hips up. In a dolphin pose, holding a block in between your hands can help you have a perfect distance in between your forearms and really activate your forearms and your biceps and the muscles of your arms. Really, blocks are wonderful to use in some of the restorative yoga poses and long holds. For example, placing blocks tall way or medium height, and then placing your triceps on top of them can help you to really stretch into your triceps and open up your chest. Supported bridge is another one where you just place 2 blocks or a block under your sacrum, and otherwise you're in this resting position, but you can play with it and lift one of your legs up or even both legs. So a more passive inversion. What blocks are better to get? There are foam blocks, there are cord blocks, so much variety of brands and types. 2 things about cord blocks. They're very durable and they're very sturdy. I've had these blocks for about 10 years. These are Manduka cord blocks. You get a lot of support with them. They don't wiggle around, and they're also very firm. So I really like using these as I'm working on my handstands, for example, handstand hops, because I know they will not move around and I will feel a lot of support in my hands. Or for example, that L-sit that I was showing you, especially using them on high. A lot of support with cord blocks. They are a little bit more expensive than foam blocks, but if you get them, they will last you for years and years. So why would you get foam blocks? I haven't had foam blocks until about a year ago, and they were actually gifted to me. And I never really thought about foam blocks as a good investment before, because they're very light, they're softer, they don't wiggle around, but as you are doing some handstand hops, or even like holding a plank using these, you could feel your arm kind of pressing into the block. So you're not getting as firm of a support in these strengthen and move as with cord blocks. However, I find them a lot more comfortable to use in restorative pose like that supported bridge that I was telling you, because they're a lot more gentle on the sacrum. So for any restorative poses, that they are actually gentler, and in times where you are squeezing the block in between your legs for a bridge, or maybe you're doing leg lifts, having a foam block actually feels a lot better, because this one is heavy and firm and a little bit bulky. To sum all of it up, is wonderful to have cork blocks and foam blocks for different reasons, and you definitely need to invest in a pair of yoga blocks. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any more questions about choosing your yoga blocks, or if you are looking for more videos on how to choose your yoga equipment, definitely leave me a comment. I would love your feedback, and I'll see you again soon.